Hello, YouTube. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to one of the few mobile YouTube streams I've ever done. But great to see you guys here and see you guys coming in. Of course, if you're watching the replay, that's awesome too. So, what's going on today? Why am I doing this from my mobile device instead of my setup that I normally use? It's because today we're doing something a little bit different on social media. What that means is we know that people, most of you are, if you can work from home, you're working from home now. And also, just I want to take a note to say, hope everyone's doing okay. Hope you guys are staying safe. Hope you're practicing your social distancing. And I hope that you aren't too adversely affected by all this because we are all in this together. But with that said, we're trying to just uplift people and do a little inspiration in terms of show us your creative setup. If you are a creator, meaning you do art, you do photography, you do music, you do graphic design, sculpting, painting, whatever it is, show us how you do it. Show us where that setup is. And when you show it, you can show it on any platform you want. It doesn't have to be a YouTube video. You can do it on Instagram. You can do it on Facebook. You can do it on YouTube. You can do it on Twitter. You can do it any way you want. Hey, Raymond. And just whenever you share either your image or your videos, use the hashtag Adobe Creative Setup so that we can see what it is you're looking at. If you go search the hashtag right now, like on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube or Instagram, you'll see what people have already posted. In most cases, it's just a photograph of their desk. It's a photograph of maybe the backdrop that they use for the video calls and things like that. I'm going to do things a little differently. I'm going to actually take this opportunity to give you guys a bit of a tour of my creative workspaces so that you can kind of see the behind the scenes. You can see what goes on behind my videos, behind my live streams that I do for work, that I do for on a regular basis. Now, the room I'm in right now, this particular room is basically just what I call my office. It's my home office. This is where I do my expense reports and conference calls and any paperwork that I have to do, any like just work where I just want to close the door and come in and do work. This really isn't necessarily my creative space, but it is one of the places where I come to get stuff done. And again, just a basic office. It's a home office in one of the bedrooms. It's got a desk, it's got a computer, it's got, TV on the wall. That's a couch. That's pretty much it. But let me give you guys a quick tour and show you around, and hopefully you'll be inspired to create your own video or create your own pictures and share them with the hashtag Adobe Creative Setup. All right, so I'm going to switch the camera around. And what you're looking at right now is you're literally looking at that laptop on my desk, and you're looking at the cables, and you're looking at the Wacom Cintiq 13-inch that I reviewed a while ago. And there's a 4K monitor that's not on right now. But the main thing I want to show you in this particular part of the setup is you'll notice that TV on the wall. And it's displaying one of my images using the Lightroom for Apple TV app. And that's great. And I can swipe through my images with the remote and kind of, here, let's see if I can get it to work. There we go. Zoom in. Swipe left and right so I can go through my images that way and kind of just have a nice image up on the wall while I'm working. But the main reason for that TV is it's got an Apple TV on it, and that's the one that, yep, Yoda's over there. That's the one that I'm using when I'm doing a video conference. I actually mirror my laptop to that screen so that I can see whoever it is I'm talking to, and I'm looking at my webcam, which is in this ring light. So that way I'm at eye level, I'm talking to someone, I'm looking straight past the camera at them, and I'm trying to make it as in person as a remote call can be. And so that's just, I always advise people, if you're going to be doing these calls, we're all used to seeing people looking down at the laptop. We never see their eyes anymore because their laptop has the camera way down there. And so therefore you're having to look down at it. So that way, just if you can, get stuff up off the table. You can even use books, whatever, to raise your laptop so it's higher, just so the camera on it is not, you're not looking down at it, you're looking straight across. All right, so that's just a kind of a bonus work from home tip. So now let's take a bit of a tour. So someone noticed Yoda. This is my memorabilia desk, table. There's the Millennium Falcon. There's a 3D scan of myself that I had as a company outing one day. There's some original iPhones. That Quick Take 100 is one of the first digital cameras I ever had. There's a phaser from Star Trek. There's a 3D chess set from Star Trek as well. Spock would be proud. So just a hodgepodge of stuff that ends up on this table. There's BB-8, and if we come around, you can see the back of that desk and just what's going on there with the ring light and that Dell 4K monitor and so forth and so on. All right, so the other thing you'll notice on the wall, most of the everything in the house is either pictures I've taken or art that Victoria's created. So we're just always posting our own things on the wall to remind us and to help us stay creative, remind us of places we've been, and to inspire us to do better on the next one. So there's one of my favorite shots from Egypt and various scenes over there in black and white, including my dad on the left-hand side who passed away a few years ago. But just keeping those scenes in mind when I work helps me stay inspired. All right, so we're going to leave this room and let's head out into the hallway. All right, I'm not sure what happened there, but my screen just went completely black with YouTube, and I'm just going to go ahead and switch it back and continue on. So as I was saying, this particular part is for where I normally do portrait sessions, but right now it's set up for still life. And you can see my various lighting setups here, highlighter reflector, backdrops, my Ellen Chrome strobes that I've used for many, many years. And if we come over here and look down, there is my photography gear. So my D850 camera from Nikon and various lenses that I use. And you also see things like, if we look up, you notice there's a microphone there, and we look up again, there's a webcam up there, and there's another webcam over here, because I'm also live streaming from time to time my shoots from this area. So if I do a photo session and I want to do an educational part of it, I live stream from this area using those cameras, including one that would be connected to this tethering station. So this is where I have my laptop. There's a brand new HP there that I haven't even turned on yet. I have my laptop here, and I'm shooting tethered into Lightroom Classic and showing it on a nice portrait display there for myself to see it and the subject that I'm photographing. All right, so with that, that's creative space number 2. So we went from the office into the photography studio. Now we're gonna head back, or not head back, we're gonna head forward. Hey, Black Panther, head forward to the space where you see me most of the time. Although it doesn't look like this when you see me. This is my live streaming setup. So this is where I record my tutorials. This is where I do my live stream tutorials as well. And you can see that this is basically just another room similar to the first one we were in. And you notice the window, same size window as the one that was in the other room. When I first moved here and set this all up, I had the desk facing that window. So it was like, imagine if it was just turned 90 degrees to the left. And I don't know, I just thought that would be a better setup. But what I got tired of is that this wall, where I had the green screen on a mount, just wasn't wide enough. So I decided, hey, I'm at home, working from home, might as well take the time now that we all have and rotate the whole studio 90 degrees. And I couldn't be happier because it gives me a much wider green screen to work with, so I'm not being cropped off anymore. And I'll give you guys a bit of a tour of the setup itself. Let's have a seat. And so these are there's 3 computers here. These are the computers that I'm using for my streams and for my tutorial recordings. So let's start over here on the left-hand side where I see the MacBook Pro. The MacBook Pro is actually running the streaming software. So it's a dedicated system to do the live streams. It's running Wirecast Pro. And above it, using actually as my comment computer. So that particular system is really tied to the monitor that's built into the iMac. This 27 all connected to the same system. And I just basically have different browser windows open in there so I can see the various chats from the platforms that I'm streaming to at any given time. Then you'll notice, so that's computer number 1 and computer number 2. And that's the machine I'm actually doing the demos on. So when I'm actually running, and that computer is actually, there are notes from Mintique, drawing on or retouching on, because this is actually a touch display, so, or a pen display, I should say. So I can actually use pressure sensitive pens on it and do my retouching there. Now, keyboard, and so this one's got dedicated control for editing your images in Lightroom. Then there's a couple keyboards for the various computers and the 3 mice for the 3 systems. And of course, keeping in mind which mouse does what again, which mouse goes to which computer. So since I'm the only, this is my favorite device in the whole studio, besides the computers. This is my favorite device because this means for your live stream. So for example, if I'm talking to you like I am right now, wave a button and it switches to the desktop scene. So that's me on the left-hand side, the button, and it switches to the desktop scene. So that's me on the left-hand side. Hit another button, moves me over to the right-hand side. Hit another button, it gives me a pivot. So I've got all these scenes set up to where I can basically run my whole show with my left hand while I'm doing stuff with my right hand on the other computer or other mouse. All right, so that's a bit of my setup. The other thing I'll show you real quick, you notice that light box right there? That's something recently added that I use. What a mess was that. That I use if I want to just do a quick mobile photography thing. So I'll take out my phone or tablet and put something in the box and photograph it. And that way I don't have to go across the room or leave the space, where I can just shoot and show the editing right there on the spot. Of course, there's the iPad Pro for doing mobile demos. There's a smaller iPad Mini that's actually running the broadcast when I'm streaming. All right, again, we disconnected, but hopefully I'm back again. And so that's my live streaming setup. That's my creative space. So next, I want to be video. You don't have to do a tour. It could just be a photo of your desk, a photo of your computer setup, a photo of your backdrop, a photo of your sketchbook, a photo of the clay that you mold with, a photo of the paints that you use. Whatever it is you're using to be creative, post those images on social media. Post those videos on social media. Do your Instagram lives, whatever it is you want to do, and hashtag it Adobe Creative Setup. We want to see what you're using. And if you're lucky, Adobe might feature your setup in a bigger social media connect. So with that said, thanks for watching this. Again, not the normal kind of stream that I do, not the normal kind of video that I do. But it was just fun walking people. First time I've ever done a live tour of my setup. And if you want to see the specifics of the live streaming setup, that's all over on my blog at terrywhite.com. You can scroll down and see what my setup looks like. And every piece of gear has been outlined and labeled and what it does and how it's connected, so forth and so on. So head over to terrywhite.com to see that, but go ahead and post your images using hashtag Adobe Creative Setup. Stay safe, stay home, flatten the curve, do what we got to do so we can all get back to somewhat whatever we call normal. All right, cheers everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Goodbye, Nigerian librarian. Have a good one. Bye, everybody.